Good day everyone, my name is Sheryn Fathia, and in this video I would like to explain about cross-cultural pragmatic and the filler. Cross-cultural pragmatic is the study of interrelationship communication between people who are from different culture background to the target language. So in cross-cultural pragmatic a cross-cultural pragmatic study the interrelationship communication between the people that has the different background from the target language that they want to use and performing. So behind the language usage differences is the huge diversity of cultures which influence the action and thinking of people. Cross-cultural pragmatic is developed by grammar-based approach to language acquisition. It means that in cross-cultural pragmatic and concern about how the non-native speaker or across the culture acquire the foreign language and looking at the pragmatic and looking at how they acquire the pragmatic term. In this view, comparative linguistics should focus on differences among language, especially give a systematic comparison of the target language, native language, and the culture and their culture to get the relation from meaning and distribution. Individuals tend to transfer the forms and the meanings and the distribution of forms and meaning to their native language and culture. So what it means by this is the learner from cross culture usually transfer the form and the meaning and the distribution of the language to their own culture and native language to easily understand, to get the meaning and understand the meaning easily, both productively and when attempting and to act in culture, and receptively when attempting to grasp and understand the language and culture as practiced by native. And next is the failure in a cross-cultural pragmatic. In this failure is replaceable in learning foreign language, and and as I said before, that individuals often tend to transfer the form and the meaning and the way of the language distribution appear. They transfer it to the way their native language and culture do the language on their own, and so it is it somehow makes the misunderstanding misunderstanding on how the or differences between how the native speaker of a language use their language and how the learner of foreign language use the language, and they often has grammatical error and often ignore the pragmatic aspect, and how they performing and applying the language in conversation is quite different from the native and from the native speaker of the language. And for example, when in Indonesia, people usually react to a compliment with down to earth down to earth response. For example, when someone compliment our dress, in Indonesia we would say, enggak kok, ini dress biasa aja. And but in usually the learner, the foreign language learner transfer the form and meaning and the distribution of the language to their culture by just transferring the form and the meaning. And it quite strange to native speaker to hear it. When someone compliment the dress, people usually say thank you as the compliment throw to us. And but it is people who learn the foreign language, that transfer the form and the form and the meaning and the distribution of the language, often mistreated the meaning of the meaning and the form of a language. For example, when someone compliment your dress, you have a nice dress. In English speaking country, they would say thank you for the compliment. But in Indonesia, they tend to be down to earth by saying, oh no, it's just a usual dress. But it difference between how we react to compliment in different cultures. So that's so by transferring the full version of language to another culture is somehow a failure to acquire the language. So I think that's all about cross-cultural pragmatic for me. Thank you for listening to my explanation.